Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share in the good that's overflowing. And let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share in the good that's overflowing. Oh, let my steps reveal a path of peace. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Kamai Hippolyte, and the band. So, good morning to everybody online. So, why do we come here on a Sunday? We come here to do what? Fellowship. What else? To know the truth of who you are. And why else? To be inspired and to hear great music. Yes, all of those things. And to what? And to keep each other warm. Yes, okay, yeah. Winter, be done, please. So done with winter. Oh, and so welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. We are a hub for living well, and we come together as a community to feel inspired, to embody wellness and happiness, togetherness and inspiration. Now, we also come here to teach two things. Everybody's looking at me like, we do? We do. We teach the divinity in all beings. The divinity in all beings. And we teach the law of cause and effect. It is done unto us as we believe. And we learn from all these incredible mystics and masters of the world, from Jesus and Buddha to Deepak Chopra and Eckhart Tolle and Oprah and Lady Gaga, and Lady Gaga is in the same category as Jesus. Wow. Hey, there are many great mystics and masters in this day and age, as well as the ancient ones like Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thoreau, Emmett Fox, and of course, Ernest Holmes and Thomas Troward. And so, yes? Oh, oh. Thank you. I'll just say thank you to that one. We also recognize that this center is situated upon the spiritual territories of the Washonabic Nation, the Anishinaabe Nation, and the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. And so they too are mystics and masters that we have the opportunity to learn from. So welcome to your spiritual home. We also celebrate spirituality in whatever form and shape it takes, which is a pretty awesome thing. I think, anyways. Thanks, Rustin. Rustin's with me. I know all of you online are with me as well. So to start off, let's take it over to Kamaya and our invocation song.
I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light, 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 I am light. I am not the mistakes that I've made, any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light.
Beautiful. And so take a breath in, breathing in the love, breathing in the light, breathing out peace and tranquility. And another breath in. And release and let go. There is a light within each one of us, a presence that is forever expanding, a causation of growth beyond any perceived limitations. Imagine the difference it would make in our relationships with one another if we tried to sense this light within everyone we meet. We are so used to thinking of ourselves as separate from one another. Let us remember to open the whole avenue of our consciousness to the realization that there is one light, eternal and indestructible. From that one light are many lights. For each of us is a divine presence manifesting itself in infinite variations. Today I invite you to demand of yourself your wholeness, living rightly, in integrity, being truthful in facts and motives, understanding that there is a divine presence in everything. Yes, demand it of yourself. Sense the one life flowing through you, through all things. I affirm this presence. I accept its benefit action because it already is. It already is, and I am. And so it is. And so with that, we are going to stand up and sing This Little Light of Mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let
right. I am going to invite up to the front here, to the lectern, to the stand, our practitioner of the day, who is now also, can I say it? Can I say it? Can I say it? A ministerial student with Dr. James Mellon. Woohoo! So, who is, yes, having his consciousness expanded. And so, Fred Wimette, come on up to the front here.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you. Is this on? There we are. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome also the month of March. Hooray! We're a few weeks away from spring, and as Reverend Helen said, we're all ready for that. It was interesting because, as Reverend Helen mentioned, I am a ministerial student, and we were in class the other day, and I said to her, "Oh, I'm going to do this thing that I presented in class," and she said, "Well, this month it's about integral integrity," and I thought, how am I going to fit that into integral integrity? My response was, I can do it. So here we are. And here's the truth. Integral integrity is about showing up whole and complete, showing up as who we really are with integrity, living our truth. And the truth is that this philosophy taught me how to do that daily. Not just whimsy now and then, but daily. And what if I told you that on the first 60 pages of the Science of Mind textbook has all of the answers that you're looking for to understand this philosophy? Now, timekeepers, I'm doing this in 5 minutes, but I'm going to cover the first 60 pages and give you something that you'll need to leave with today. So there are 4 chapters in the first 60 pages, and the first one is the thing itself. The thing itself is the substance. Think about it as everything. You know, scientifically, if we break ourselves down, we're the same molecule. I'm made of the same atoms that this is made of, and this is made of, and the air we breathe, and the ground we stand on. It's all one. That is the substance. And some people call that substance God. I like to call it love. But whatever name you give it, that is the substance. That is the thing itself. And it is the soil, and it is the seed, and it is the sun, and it is everything. It is the water. So then we ask the next chapter, which is the way it works. We call it first cause, or the creative process. Now that's a little bit of jargon. Really what it is, if you think of first cause as the spark, the idea, the thing, the thought that comes into our head. And how we get that thought from our head into something that we create is it works for us by working through us. We have that thought, we focus on it, and we create. Think of it as the seed. That is the seed that we put into the ground. And the next chapter, I told you, this is like the Cole's notes. The next chapter is what it does. What it does is it contains all knowledge. It takes that seed and it does what it needs to do to grow. And here's what's interesting. We get to plant whatever seed we want. And if we plant a tomato, we know a tomato will grow. Now, Ernest Holmes in this chapter talks about hope is better than despair, but the real change happens in the knowing. And part of the knowing is that if we plant a cucumber seed, we do not expect a tomato. When we're that sure that we've planted a tomato, we know a tomato will grow. And here's the best part about this chapter as well. It also talks about this as being limitless. You can create whatever kind of garden you want. Just keep planting the seeds that you want to grow. I would choose tomato and cucumber. You could choose watermelon and orange trees, whatever it is that you wish. The next chapter is how to use it. And that's actually really simple. Do you know how to use it? Be aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. Consciously think about what you want in your life. Be aware of the seeds that you're planting into the ground, for that shall grow. That's basically how you use it. I have an example of this, and we can change it in a dime, because about a month ago, I had no voice, and I had a cold, and I was in Ottawa working, and I had ministerial class at 10 o'clock at night, and I looked in the mirror about an hour beforehand, and I thought, oh my God, I can't do it. I had no voice. I looked like hell, And I thought, I'm not going to make it. And this little voice in the back of my head went, well, not with that attitude. And it was so powerful that I not only made it to class, but I made it to my seminars that I had to go to the next day, early in the morning. And by the time the end of the day came, I was actually feeling 100% better, and my voice came back, right? So it's that little seed, and you can change your garden at any time. So here's this first 60 pages of this book is a great jumping off point. And then you delve into the really teachings and really get into the practice of it. Here's the thing that I wish. I trust that everybody can take a thought that they have today and turn it into something that you want for yourself. Take that seed, plant the seed that you want, and consciously be aware of the seeds that you're planting. And if you do that, and if you monitor your thoughts, you can begin to have the life experience that you wish to have always. Namaste. And I'm going to do the affirmation. Timekeepers, how did I do? Thank you. And we're going to do the affirmation of the day, and it's on the back. So I'll read it once, and then I invite you to read it with me. I am the epitome of integrity. I am open, honest, and forward with my words and actions that are integral to my wholeness. And together, I am the epitome of integrity. I am open, honest, and forward with my words and actions that are integral to my wholeness. Thank you. And I invite everybody just now just to sit right where you are and close your eyes if you're comfortable to do that, and come into this moment right here, right now. And I recognize that there is one divine source, one creative, divine energy. And it is that substance. It is that substance that we call God or love or light. And that is omnipresent and omnipotent. And it is everywhere. And I recognize that as I speak these words for each and every one of us, that the seed that is planted is the seed that grows. And just like nature knows what to do, and the river knows where to flow, and the trees know how to grow, and they are all individualized expressions, doing what it is that they do. I recognize that my own experiences in life are also divinely intuited. And that being connected to this wholeness, this light, is in every single person, every single thing that we experience. And that to the degree that we allow it is to the degree that it grows. I recognize this in every face I see, in every thought I think, and in every soul that I happen upon. For we are one, and we are always together right here, right now. I'm grateful for these teachings, these words of wisdoms from some of the great leaders. I'm grateful that I stand on the shoulder of these people and recognize their divinity, their endless supply of knowledge and light and love. And I understand the power of my word as law. And I release it to the law, knowing that it is done. And together we say, and so it is.
Beautiful, Fred. Thank you. Thank you. One of the things that happens in ministerial school is you have to present 5-minute talks every week. If you go over the 5 minutes, that's it, you're cut off. That's it. You do not go over. So Fred is like very conscious, like, okay, I've got these 5 minutes here. Oh. So, this feature song, a lot of you will know it well, and it is truly an exquisite song. And hearing it this morning in rehearsal, oh, prepare yourself. It is beautiful, and so I invite you to take it away. Come on.
Rolling river guide, little stones are smooth, only once the one passes through. And so I am a stone, rough and grainy still. I'm just trying to reconcile that river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. But when the sunset comes, my prayer might be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I'm just a little smoother in your hand. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high, but never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you, dear Lord, is where I long to stay. I want to feel the roughest edges wash away. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. But when the sunset comes, my prayer might be this one, that you might pick me up and notice that smoother in your hand.
Oh, thank you both. I'm going to burst into tears. Oh, it is such an exquisite song and beautiful. Kamaya and Brendan, thank you so much. I know time brings change and change brings time. But when the sunset comes, my prayer might be this one: that you pick me up. Oh, I am going to burst out crying. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. Oh, that you pick me up and notice that I am not what I used to be. And none of us are what we used to be even 5 minutes ago. And this is one of the most beautiful things about this philosophy, is that it brings about the understanding that we have an opportunity to shift and change into wholeness, to live in a state of wholeness. In any moment we shift something in our consciousness, to live in wholeness and undivided. So my talk title is called The Feast. And it's not what you think. And I know when I think of feast, I have like this big medieval picture in my mind where the table is piled high and everybody's just diving in for that big bone and the grapes and the cheese and the wine. But feast also means something else. It means to dwell with gratification and delight, to dwell in. Can you imagine that we dwell in the knowingness of who we are? And let me ask you this, in your mind, what have you been dwelling in? You don't have to tell me. Actually, somebody already told me this morning their mind was not dwelling in such a great place. But here's the thing. What you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. So if your mind is dwelling in everything that is wrong with you or wrong with the world, which means actually, well, because we teach cause and effect, it's wrong with you. It's not wrong with the world. It's what you're experiencing out in the world. Then you're going to get more of it. If you are willing to dwell in the integrity of your being, of who you are, then what will expand is wholeness and happiness and joy and love and light and prosperity. You see, integrity is the truth of who you are. Integrity is not the truth of your neuroses. It is not the truth about all the stuff going on out here. Integrity is a fact about who you are. And when you operate from that understanding that spirit is the truth of your being, then we attract everything to us that reflects the spirit of our being. When we are dwelling on what is not working or erroneous truths, of which there are many out in the world these days, then you're going to get more of that. So anything that is unlike that or unlike the truth of our being creates more problems. It creates more confusion in our life, and it creates more separation from the truth of who we are. So, like I said earlier, we teach two things. We teach the divinity of all beings and the law of cause and effect. So the absolute truth of us is that we are spirit. There is something within us that is a part of something that is greater, that has created everything in this universe. It's called consciousness. That is our divinity, is consciousness. And we have free will choice. We have volition on how we use our consciousness. And so, if we are choosing to use our consciousness in a way that does not support our well-being, then we will get more into our life that does not support our well-being. And so, there are many who unfortunately do opt out of that sense of integrity and make choices that are not particularly healthy and supportive of themselves, of others that they're in contact with, or, supporting the highest and best of the world. The key to your own personal awakening is knowing who you are. To stand in the mirror and say, I know who I am. I am this divine soul. I am not the circumstances out here. I have a power within me that I can use to attract more good to my life than I have ever imagined. The awakening is the willingness to reside within your own spiritual goodness, your authenticity. And sometimes that takes work, and sometimes we have some rude awakenings to wake us up to the truth of who we are. And so a friend of mine had sent me a podcast from The Current that was on, I think, a couple weeks ago. And it was with a Montreal chef named David McMillan, who owns a series of very successful and incredibly delicious, I've eaten at one of his restaurants, in Montreal. And he was talking about his own journey with addiction. And one of the things, because I'm not going to talk about addiction, but it was something he said in this that really caught my eye. He said, or my ear, because I was listening. He said that he was never taught self-care for his own well-being. That he was taught food. He knew food and he knew wine. And that's really all he knew. But he was never taught how to care for himself. And so after some friends and staff had intervened and sent him to this rehab, he was told that in order for his wholeness to be fully actualized, that he needed to be sober for at least 16 weeks, and that he needed to really care for himself for 16 weeks to fully feel that integrated shift within himself. And I went, 16 weeks. That's a pretty good amount of time of really caring for yourself and taking care of yourself to shift and change your behaviors and your attitudes and your brain chemistry. I like that. 16 weeks. Think about it. 16 weeks from now, that brings us to the beginning of July. That's not that far away. 16 weeks. And he said, I didn't quite get what they meant. But after 16 weeks, he said he woke up and he went, oh my gosh, I feel happy. I'm excited. I feel like there's new opportunities for me. So imagine for yourself, if you were to take an area of your life, and we talk about the 4 pillars, relationships, prosperity, health, and your creative expression, what you do that is part of you expressing yourself in your life. What if you took one of those areas and you feasted on loving yourself, really taking care of yourself in one of those areas? What might your life look like? Think it might look a little differently? Feel a little differently? Yeah. So our physiology and our brain chemistry, it does change when we start to train our mind and we start to act in different ways. It has an effect on how we show up, and we start to live more harmoniously. We start to live more consciously, and we become more aware of the choices that we're making. And so for me, in my life, I am focusing on my physical health. Kind of funny since I've been sick the last week. But what I decided was with my physical health is that I was going to embark, and I already started this about 3 weeks ago, a physical training program to really build the internal muscles of my body for physical well-being and health, because it's an important thing to do. We need that internal, all those intercostal muscles to be really strong and support us and support our spine and help us move through life, especially as we're aging. Well, no, probably any time, but I'll say because I'm aging in a very healthy, wonderful way. But yeah, you can relate, Fred? So I started to embark on this physical exercise program, and I've been going to this gym, which is where I'm convinced I picked up the bug that gave me the cold. And it's not been an easy program, and they're not nice there. like they don't care. They're like, the more you feel it and your muscles are burning, the better. Those little inter ones that I didn't even know existed before I started doing this. But it's an interesting journey to really then I set my goals and I went, wow, if I do this consistently till the beginning of July, I'm going to be really, really in great shape. And this is one area that I'm working on. So let's see what happens July 1st. There'll be the big reveal or something with clothes on. Just saying. Yeah. That's when I can show up with my hat and my cigarette. Yes, of course. Oh, that would be actually pretty good. But, it takes that time and commitment and energy to really dwell in and make the changes that we need to make. Or you can keep, doing what you're doing, and that's okay too. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm never here to tell you what to do. Everybody gets to choose for themselves, which is one of the great things about this philosophy as well, because we don't teach you what to think. We teach you how to think. There's a big difference. And then you choose what you want to think. You choose what you want to believe. But so much of the pain in our life is driven by that sense of incompleteness. And it is a craving for wholeness, a craving for us to live fully integrated, in integrity, connected to who we are. And so what we need to do is stop looking up there and really dwell in with delight at getting to know the truth of ourselves. And not many of us are taught about extreme self-care and how to really, really take care of ourselves mentally and emotionally. And so you can't heal it by beating yourself up. You gotta do it through loving yourself, nurturing yourself, and yes, taking those steps that are sometimes really hard to move forward. But the only way to truly heal is through love. And so, to feast on love so deeply in an area for you that your life is transformed. Can you imagine that? Can you actually imagine that? I want you to sort of close your eyes for a sec and think of one area. One. You don't have to do all four at once. Just one area. And imagine that particular area of your life completely transformed by summer, no less. It's not that far away. And just create that mental picture for you, because that's the first step. Is if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. And really be in touch with what would that feel like for you, right? What would it feel like? And then say yes to it, because that's the other thing. You got to say, yeah, I'm committed to this part. I'm committed to this indwelling of transformation and healing and revealing of all the love, the abundance, the joy, the creative expression that's all there. It's all there. We have to open ourselves up to it. And then allow your eyes to open. So you all know which area of your life needs some tweaking. And this is a great way to gain support, is, to actually see a practitioner at the end of service, to send in a prayer request and have us pray for you, to ask for support on whatever it is you need. And if it's not here, then ask for support somewhere where you know that you'll get the right support for what it is you're looking for. But we have to be willing to ask for support. Integrity derives from the Latin integratum, meaning soundness, wholeness, blameless. And from the inter, meaning whole. So that integral integrity, like Fred was saying, and then Lori mentioned it in her meditation this morning, is that sense of wholeness that there is nothing missing and it can be relied upon. And this is the God lessons within us. This is who and what we are. And so this month, it's all about demonstrating this integral integrity. To demonstrate it means that it actually shows up in your life and you get to say yes to it and celebrate it. And so know that what you can say to yourself again and again and again is the word shalom. Shalom. Shalom, we think of it as meaning peace, but at its root, it also means wholeness. I am shalom. Shalom. And shalom means a coherent state of being. And when we have that coherent state of being, then everything else falls into place. And we don't have to do anything. And integrity is the foundation of relationships. It is ease between the past, the present, the future. It allows us to flow. It is the agreement between our thoughts and actions, so you don't have that willy-nilly chatter going on in your head. And when we are out of integrity, we are creating disharmony in our lives. So wherever there is disharmony, you know that you're out of integrity. So one of the things I want you to ask yourself when you're going into that place of dwelling inside and checking in, is this really in alignment with the truth of who I am? Does it feel light or does it feel heavy? Because any choice, any decision we make that feels heavy begets more heaviness in our life, and we're out of alignment. If we are feeling light with the choices that we're making, it means we are integrated, we're in that lightness of being, and begets more lightness. And it is like one of the best tools to use. Oh, does eating this feel light or heavy for me? Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing or eating. Does this choice feel light or heavy for me? Does investing in this stock feel light or heavy for me? Because you will attract, when you are in the lightness, you can only attract more to yourself that brings more lightness. And so, step into this place of dwelling in the divine. Dwell in it this month and live from this place of integrity and see where you are in 16 weeks. 16 weeks for one area of your life. That's not so long, is it? No. Can you do it? Yes? All right. So let's know this, that in the feasting of the dwelling, of the knowing and embodying of the truth of who I am, of who each one of us is, there can be only goodness that is expressed. There can be only goodness that is attracted to us because there is only one thing going on, and that is the divine expression of this universal consciousness at all times. And I have choice in how I use it. We have choice in how we use it. So let's use it wisely. And so it is. Thank you. All right. So, and hopefully you all chose an area of prosperity to work on as well. Take out what you have to offer the center, knowing that if you hold it in your hands and you bless it and feels light and expansive, it brings more light and expansion and prosperity to you. And so, as the baskets go around, we are going to sing Circulate.
Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Sing with me. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love right now. Circulate my love. Your turn. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Oh, circulate. circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. I circulate my joy right now. I circulate my joy. And it returns to me, multiply abundantly. Circulation across the nation. It's a love vibration around the world and beyond.
Yes, as we think about abundance and circulation and energy, recognize that currency is only energy, and energy is only love. And so it's with gratitude and a great heart that I know that this circulation of energy gets used to the highest and greatest good for the center and for this world, because that's what we need more of right now, is love and energy. And together we say, and so it is.
I circulate my gift right now. I circulate my gift. I circulate my gift right now. I circulate my gift. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. And it returns to me, multiplied abundantly. Oh.
Oh, and few announcements. Our Signs of Mind study group is still happening on Wednesdays. It was great. We have people popping in from all over on Wednesday. It was awesome. And then we have a healing circle on Sunday, March 24th at 1 p.m. So you can just come and sit and be bathed in prayer. And that's free to attend. And we'll probably have it upstairs on the 24th. And then we have just a couple of social events. And I thought I saw something. You've got dates? Okay. Oh. Here it is. Escape room fun. Are you a sleuth? As I mentioned. We're going to have an outing. And so we'll pick a date, either Saturday, March 16th, Saturday, March 23rd, or Saturday, March 30th. It's at Queen and Bay, and the cost is only $28 for 45 minutes of fun in an escape room where we can all be spiritual and escape together. That'll be so cool. So we'll put these out. We'll figure out which Saturday that's going to be, and that'll be a whole lot of fun. Oh, yeah, and 10 reasons why you love CSLTO. This is a meme that's going around on Facebook and Instagram. Share it, like it, get it out there. And, of course, we also have upcoming events. Our Dow ceremony on Saturday, April 6th, and Lisa Ryder's play. We need to sort out a date for that, so I'll put up a sign-up sheet for her play, which is from March 26th to April 14th, so we can all go together and have another social night out. And that's it, folks. We are going to kick off with thank yous to Kamaya. Thank you, beautiful Brendan, Julian, Rustin, Brian, and Carrie. Woohoo! Kim on camera, Cohen on sound, and thanks to our Sacred Service team, Tony, Ellen, Margaret Ann, Tasha, Lori, and Judy, and Ken, our board member. Lori and Julian, oh my God, get here for meditation, folks. It was like unbelievable. It was so good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Fred, for your beautiful words and your incredible energy. And our community practitioner today is, who's it going to be, Judy? Judy, thank you, because Linda's not here. So Judy will be our practitioner of the day. So if you want to go and see her in the prayer room, have at it. Thank you to everybody online, and thank you to all of you, and we'll see you next week. We're going to kick it off with Rome.
By Mercury shooting through every degree. Oh, girl, dancing down those dusty and dusty trails. Taking hip to hip, rocking through the wilderness. Yeah, all around the world, the trip begins with a kiss. Roam if you want to. Roam around the world, roam if you want to, without anything but the love we feel. Skip the airstrip to the sunset, yeah, ride the arrow to the target. Whoa, take it hip to hip, rocking through the wilderness. Yeah, all around the world, the trip begins with a kiss. Roam if you want to, roam around the world. Roam if you want to, without anything but the love we feel. Fly the great big sky, see the great big sea, kicking through continents, busting boundaries, taking hip to hip, rocking through the wilderness. Yeah, all around the world, the trip begins with a kiss. Roam if you want to. Roam around the world, roam if you want to, without wings, without wheels, roam if you want to, roam around the world, roam if you want to, without anything but the love we feel. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic week.